All right, guys, I am super excited today because Nathan said that we'll be testing a Lexus that we have yet to drive. I'm thinking LFA or ISF.
Oh, not exactly.
No, not exactly. Nathan, you've brought a car that I'm sure your dad would be proud to be driving.
This LS is remarkable. Beautiful V8 8-speed automatic transmission. This one's rear drive because it's the base model LS. I gotta tell you though, it is smooth as silk or as a fine cigar.
Coming up next on the Fast Lane Car.
Believe it or not, there's a V8 under this plastic. I think Lexus is kind of trying to tell you something when you open the hood of this. Underneath is a 4.6 liter V8, 367 pound-feet of torque, 387 horsepower. Not bad, but once again, it's in there somewhere, kind of hidden, and it kind of tells you that if anybody's going to open this hood, there's one little panel that's removable, and that's for the oil. Otherwise, stay away. Let your mechanic handle it.
You know, Nathan, I've always been confused by this car because it represents probably the most luxurious car that Lexus makes. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
But yet, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class is at the top of this segment. The BMW is kind of the muscle car, the 7 Series. The Audi is becoming the all-wheel drive Bauhaus Wunderkind. But yet this, I still don't know what this is. I think it's like old school luxury. It doesn't have much road presence, and it just doesn't speak to me, Nathan. Sorry.
That's because you don't speak the language of luxury. You're not as sophisticated as a guy like me. When you sit back with your big fat beers watching, you know, some sort of Hooters thing, I like to sit back with a martini and think about luxury. I like to think about what's nice in life. I like to think about being coddled and comforted, getting a pedicure and a manicure and all those other things that men do, right?
I think Nathan likes to smoke big-ass cigars, which is what old men like to do. And for the younger guy here, this is certainly the older man's car.
You hear that? I hear nothing. This is one of the quietest, smoothest cars I have ever driven. I'm not saying that based on other vehicles that may be in the class. I'm talking about S-classes. I'm talking about BMW 7 Series. This thing is quiet and it's remarkably smooth. And this is the base model. This is the $71,000 entry-level LS. I'm incredibly impressed with the way this car rides.
Oh, sorry. I fell asleep back here, Nathan. What were you blabbing on about? This car is so quiet and so boring. Sorry.
Well, it's not made to really titillate you, you know? This is made to be restrained luxury. And this is an aspirational car that people really want to drive.
Is it an ES, is it a GS, or is it an Lexus LS? Really, that's the question. And from the front, I can't tell. But perhaps more importantly, I can't tell if it's a Hyundai Equus or a Hyundai Genesis. I know this is supposed to represent Asian luxury, so yes, it's luxurious, it's comfortable, it's expensive, but it doesn't say excitement, and that's what I want in this segment of car, like the Germans do.
Roman is full of it. I think he's been hanging around the Equus too long. This is a gorgeous car. This has presence, it has power. Since I've had it, for the past few days, I've had more people come up to me about this car than the GS or the ES or even the IS I drove a couple of years ago. There's something powerful about it. It's almost like an iron fist with velvet on top of it. I'm very impressed with it, and at the same time, I do understand it is a tad bit boring.
I've got 2 letters for you, Nathan. BS.
Now I was in eco mode, and actually I was getting 20 miles per gallon combined, which is really, really good at a giant car. But right now, I went from normal mode to sport mode. Sport mode firms up the suspension, tightens up the steering a little bit, and changes the algorithm in the 8-speed automatic transmission, quicker shifts. All in all, it feels a little bit better around the corners. And I mean, I'm taking these corners at a fairly good speed, but it doesn't feel like it because it's such a big tank. Love it.
You know what Nathan calls comfortable, I call wallowy. What he calls sporty, I call jittery. And you can feel the weight of this car, over 4,000 pounds, even in the back seat going around these corners. Yeah, you can do a lot with the magic electronics, but at the end of the day, it's still a big ass heavy car that my father's father would have enjoyed driving, and I just don't think that this is that relevant to any young person, including old man Adlin up there.
But that's the point. This isn't a young person car. This is a car that people who own companies or presidents or hitmen or whatever, it's for them. It's not for some young guy.
All right, Nathan, so yes, it's brand new in here. Yes, it's luxurious. Yes, it's comfortable. Yes, it's classy and elegant. And yes, it's boring.
Okay, what are you expecting? This isn't a Porsche GTS. It's not, you know, it's not a Ferrari. This is a luxury car that's supposed to be mellow and it's supposed to make you feel good. And yeah, I don't understand what you're looking for. There's no excitement because there's not supposed to be excitement.
You know, I like the fact that you can get bamboo in this. That's kind of unusual, but it's just a continuation of the previous model, which is a continuation of what Lincoln did 50 years ago, which is a continuation of what Cadillac did at one point. And I want something fresh, new, from a fresh, new brand, right? I just don't want them to remake an old Cadillac or an old Lincoln. I want them to do something that's purely Lexus.
I think a Nissan Juke is right up your alley. Just take this thing down to 0. I'm gonna load it up just a little tiny bit. And if it ever goes to 0, hello, go to 0, mister. Thank you. Here we go. Yeah, it's faster already. I can feel it. Oh, a lot faster. 6.99. That's sweet.
On the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, I'm going to give the LS a lease it because I think that Lexus has yet to find its voice when it comes to the ultimate luxury car. I wonder what Nathan thinks. Let's find out. Yo, Nathan. Dude, what you doing?
Hey, it's so comfortable back here. I was just playing some video games and chilling out.
All right, so what do you give it?
I give it a bite, and I'll tell you why. That's because this is the smoothest, quietest, best riding vehicle in its class, bar none. And forget about old man Roman. I think I'm right.
If anybody's an old man, it's... I'll just go back to your video game. It's Nathan. As always, bye.
Bye, see you. There's 3 of me that can fit in here.
As always, this is Roman and Nathan saying so long. Thanks for watching. And remember, subscribe for a new car video every day.